Sometimes drama feels more familiar than peace. Not because we want negativity in our lives, but because emotional intensity has become normal for so many people. Constant reacting, constant tension, constant overstimulation. And when life finally becomes calm, we suddenly don't know what to do with that silence. Welcome to Soul Time, a show that explores the world of unlocking your unique potential. My name is Dr. Katja Makowka, and I'm a teacher at school, a former teacher at universities, and a stress and mental coach. And I'm your host. Many people think peace should automatically feel good, and that calmness should immediately feel relaxing and safe and natural. But that is not always how it works, because what feels familiar to us emotionally often has less to do with what is healthy and more to do with what we got used to. And for many people, life has been loud for a very, very long time. Pressure, stress, emotional tension, always thinking ahead and always solving something, always reacting to something. And for some, it started early. Maybe home felt emotionally unpredictable. Maybe there was pressure to constantly achieve, adapt, or stay alert. And maybe calm moments didn't last long enough to truly feel safe. And when we live in those patterns long enough, the nervous system adapts. Chaos becomes normal and intensity becomes familiar. So when life finally slows down, something strange can happen. Instead of relaxing, we become restless. We start searching for stimulation again, for the next problem, the next emotional high, or the next emotional low, the next thing to worry about or to fix. And sometimes we don't even notice we are doing it, because drama can create a feeling of movement, a feeling of importance, and even a feeling of identity. And some people only feel needed when they are solving problems. Some only feel connected when emotions are intense, and some only feel alive when something dramatic is happening around them. And in today's world, that pattern is constantly reinforced. Everything moves fast and everything demands attention, and opinions spread instantly. So conflict spreads instantly too, and drama spreads instantly. So calmness, on the other hand, often feels quiet and invisible. And because of that, many people unconsciously confuse peace with boredom. But peace is not emptiness, peace is presence. And that's a very different thing. Because when life becomes calmer, we finally hear ourselves again. Our thoughts become clearer and our emotions become more and more noticeable. And we become aware of things we were too distracted to feel before. And that can feel uncomfortable at first, not because peace is wrong, but because we are no longer numbing ourselves through constant stimulation. And maybe that's why some people return to chaos even when they say they want peace, because peace asks something different from us. It asks us to slow down, enough to actually feel, to reflect and to sit with ourselves without constantly escaping into noise, distraction, or emotional intensity. And honestly, that takes courage, much more courage than constantly reacting. There is also another layer to this. Sometimes we confuse emotional intensity with love, with passion, or with connection. A calm relationship may initially feel boring to someone who is used to emotional ups and downs. And a peaceful environment can feel unfamiliar to someone who grew up around tension. And reacting strongly can feel normal to someone who learned early that loud emotions were how people communicated. But healthy doesn't always feel familiar immediately. Sometimes healthy feels quiet at first, steady, grounded. And we have to slowly relearn that calmness is not something to fear, that not every moment needs intensity to have meaning. And as always, children really absorb all of this deeply. They notice the emotional atmosphere around us far more than we realize. They notice whether adults constantly live in stress, in conflict, in urgency, or overstimulation. But they also notice calm presence. They notice when someone pauses before reacting, when someone creates emotional safety instead of emotional chaos. And when someone knows how to stay grounded instead of being pulled into every conflict or emotional wave. And through those experiences, children slowly build their understanding of what life feels like. And they learn whether peace is normal or whether stress is the default state of being alive. And maybe one of the most powerful things we can model is showing them that calmness is absolutely safe, that slowing down is absolutely allowed, and that rest does not need to be earned through exhaustion. That a meaningful life does not have to be a chaotic one, because peace is not weakness and calmness is not laziness. And sometimes real strength is staying grounded in a world that constantly pulls us toward noise, urgency, and reaction. And sometimes healing means learning that we do not need emotional chaos to feel alive anymore. And maybe that's the deeper invitation today. Not to judge ourselves for the ways we adapted, but to gently notice what has become familiar, to notice where we constantly seek stimulation because silence feels uncomfortable, to notice where we create pressure because calmness feels unfamiliar, and to notice how often we confuse intensity with meaning, because unfamiliar doesn't mean wrong. Sometimes it simply means we are learning a healthier way to live, a calmer way, and a more grounded one, a way where peace no longer feels empty, but finally feels like home. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to Soul Time. I'm very grateful because you have given me the greatest treasure of your life, your time. If you enjoyed this episode, click the subscribe button so that you get a notification every time a new episode is out.